Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Ridwanullah family. Welcome back to a new episode of Ridwanullah TV show. Inshallah, I just have a couple of things that I wanted to share with you guys today, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, to try to deliver as much value as I possibly can. And we'll kind of go from there. And if you guys have any questions or concerns about life and or business, this would be a good time to ask those questions, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I'll answer some of the questions that have already been asked to me. And then, as we're continuously building, we'll try to do it in a way that is a little bit more official, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I hope you guys could hear me, see me so far, whether you're watching it live or later on. Either way should be fine, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I'm just trying to figure out how to utilize this live tool that we have. And inshallah, we shall be able to make something happen. So inshallah, just give me a few more minutes and then we should be able to get going, inshallah. For some reason, the live tools, I don't know if it's just on my end or my inability to see it. I'm not exactly able to see who's watching currently or who came in and who left. So hopefully, as things go along, I'll be able to kind of figure it out, inshallah. So as of right now, I'm streaming live on two platforms, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. On my YouTube channel, you could just search Hussein Mohamud, and you should be able to see my picture on there. Otherwise, I'll try to. I was thinking about giving you guys the link, but I don't know if I could do that right now while I'm live. But you guys could search there. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I'll be happy if you could, press the like button and subscribe and comment and share. That always helps out and motivates me to keep doing more. Bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Or you could be watching it on my Facebook page. And these are both my personal pages. I also have a business page, channels and pages called Ridwanullah Organization. You guys should be able to find more information and details on there, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So just to kind of let you guys know before we officially get started, what I'm trying to do through this show, as of right now, for today at least, is a couple of things. So today is the last day that I'll be on pretty much social media, where I'm going on my first quarter Ridwanullah retreat all next week. So unless out of habit or out of mistake, I pop up online or post the content, that'll be the only way that I'll be able to see you guys on there. So I'm trying to do some social media and as well as technology detox. Alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So I just wanted to, I don't want to compare myself to a drug addict, but hey, let's get there, right? So like the drug addict who's trying to quit whatever drug that they're on, and they're trying to get that last hit or whatever that last hit may be. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us from all that evil. And for me, it's that social media, right? A little bit addicted to social media. But, I was trying to, let everybody know that that's what's happening. And, I've had a couple of questions about business that I wanted to talk about. some of the things that I'm going through with my business, my life and business, and all of the things around that. So hopefully this will be able to help you on your life and business journey, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Because I don't believe that, even though you can have sprints and marathons, it's not even a sprint, it's not even a marathon, it's a journey, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Whether that's your life, whether that's your business, or anything else in between that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I just wanted to share a couple of things about business ideas and some of the things that help me or I'm in the process of utilizing to help myself, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and anybody that I work with directly or indirectly. So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. So hopefully someone who is particularly, the focus here is business ideas, but we can expand it to ideas in life, right? But I want to be, the reason why I'm doing it is because I've been struggling through a lot of business ideas, and even though I'm still struggling with it, I still feel like I have a lot of value to offer. So I wanted to be able to share with you some of the lessons that I've learned in business ideas and execution. And maybe help somebody that's out there thinking about different ideas. I know somebody reached out to me wanting to know, they started a particular business that's not doing too well in the coronavirus pandemic, and the recession that we're in the process of right now. And they wanted to know what other business idea that they could focus on. And for me, knowing a lot about business ideas, right, ideas aren't much, but execution is the game that a lot of people, including myself, are lacking in, even though I'm still doing the best that I can, is going to be critical, right? And I wanted to share with you guys a couple of things on how to navigate business ideas. And even though I'm still struggling with which one I should focus on, I have a better idea of which one I want to focus on. So maybe I could share that with you. If you guys have any business questions, feel free to ask, and I'll do the best that I can to add as much value as I possibly can, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's what I got for you guys today. So we're just gonna go through, hit a couple of points as much as we possibly can, and wrap it up and conclude on from there, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's what we have on the agenda today, and whatever else comes up that I would talk about, we'll be able to build on from that area, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So I got my late, I would say maybe it's getting to noon or afternoon right now, coffee. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Shout out to the alums. Alhamdulillah. So, so where do I want to begin? Let's see. When you're going through life, right, and you are either an aspiring entrepreneur or a wantrepreneur or an actual entrepreneur, in any of these equations, you have a lot of business ideas, right? And that could be business ideas that improve, it could be about the business that you want to start, or it could be about the business that you currently have and you want to improve on that, or it could be a business that is doing sufficiently well, if not abundantly or maximized to whatever capacity that you have it, and you're trying to improve the different parts of your business. In any of those cases, there's two sides of the equation, right? You could be drowning in business ideas, whether that's internal business ideas or external business ideas, or you could be struggling to come up with an idea. That's the other spectrum of business idea and the different ideas that you could have. So even though I'm not going to talk a lot about people who have no idea about business, even though I feel like a lot of people struggle with, at least from my experience, a lot of people struggle with having too many business ideas, and very few people experience having problems coming up with ideas. And that's why the quote that the very popular quote came up. Ideas aren't nothing, for lack of a better word, but execution is the game. And for me, I'm dancing between, for lack of a better word, too, between my business ideas and executing on those ideas and figuring out how to take the proper measurement or the proper steps um, to build on from that from the business ideas and the execution and everything else in between. So the thing that I would say is I've actually coached a couple of people to start their businesses, and alhamdulillah, I mean, I remember one of my cousins I actually helped start a business within 3 days. And obviously it's a micro business. It's not one of these, big businesses that require a lot of time and capital. It was more of, I'm sick and tired of not getting a little bit of paper coming in. How can I execute on this? So I coached him through, and within a couple of days and a couple of weeks, he was making a couple of dollars with his business, and then he started to make a couple of hundred, and I'm pretty sure he went into the thousands and probably didn't pursue it any further after that. But the point that I'm trying to make is with the different ideas that you have in business, it's very, very challenging to figure out which one to focus on, and you're going to have to go through a lot of struggle to figure out which one it is. But in the short answer on which one should you focus on, that's the one that I'm continuously asking myself and trying to answer for myself. And that's, which business should you focus on? And the answer, I'll give you the short answer, and then I'll try to explain that a little bit more. The short answer is whichever one that you think is the best, whichever one that you know is the best, whichever one that you have enough money, enough time, energy, and effort for, right? That's the one that you should pursue. Or you could take it a step further and say which one is the most leveraged business that you can have. Meaning, if you do this particular business, anything else after that will become either easier or unnecessary. That's the general definition of leverage, generally speaking. So having that leverage or that keystone that a lot of people mentioned and talk about is basically the one business that you could do, such by doing it will make everything else either easier or unnecessary. And for me, I've been in business since 2009, and I've been helping a little bit here and there with my family business pretty much all my life as far as I could remember. But when I started to get into business myself, it's been since 2009, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. So it's been roughly about over a decade of business, I would say, experience and a lot of failure and micro success, alhamdulillah rabbil alamin. And I realized you have to position yourself in business in a way that makes things makes the future stuff easier. And it's not necessarily the easiest thing to focus on. It's not necessarily the sexiest thing to focus on in terms of what you should be focused on. But it's always the one that you feel like costs the most money, the one that you feel like costs this is generally speaking, right? It's usually the one that you're generally afraid of, right? And if you can't handle the risk of the actual business that you should start, at the very least, you should go into the business that you can start, whatever capacity that you have, or start it off at 1%. If you can. And if that's not a possibility, figure out another business that you could start off at 1% if you don't have any particular savings in business. So that's some of the things that I wanted to share with you guys in terms of this episode today. Business is not easy at all, to be quite honest with you. And you guys heard me say that over and over again. And I will continue to say that because that's been my experience, right? And whoever tells you business is easy, run the other way. Now, I'm not saying business always has to be hard or has to be complex or has to be a chore. It could be fun, it could be simple, it could be easy, but that's the muscle and the repetition that you build through the grind and everything else that you put in to your business, whether that's in the beginning, whether that's in so many things. So, I think if anything, the past decade has been spent doubting myself, has been spent testing out a lot of different ideas, conceptualizing, verifying, double checking, whatever you want to call it. And the next decade, I want to be able to continue to do that, but more importantly, find a particular vertical. And this is business language that you'll basically experience or come across throughout your business journey, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I hope that you guys could, press the like button on this video. I hope that you guys could subscribe to my channels and leave your comments below. Engage with me. I really, really appreciate it. And, share it with your family and friends and join me on this life and business journey that we're on, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And we're going to continuously work to deliver as much value as I possibly can. So, where was I? So business ideas, you have to explore them continuously. And, okay. The business ideas that you have, you should not shop around for validation, right? You should shop around for constructive feedback. You should shop around for people who are going to tell you the truth. Don't shop around for the crabs in your life and business. Shop around for the motivators, the real people who are going to support you in your dreams, in your goals, and everything else that you're going to be in. And that's one of the biggest mistakes that I've made in my business ideas is I wasn't sure about it myself. And therefore I shopped around, and obviously there's a lot of pessimistic people out there rather than optimistic people. And they're going to shut your business idea down. They're going to shut a lot of the ideas that you have in your life down. So you wouldn't even know if a business idea could potentially become successful until you put some decisions and until you put some actions, until you put some money, until you put some energy and effort and teamwork and whatever else it takes behind it to see if it even has the potential to become successful. So you have to avoid the naysayers as best as you can and make sure you're asking questions to the right individual. Once again, make sure you're asking questions to the right individual. One more time, because this is so real for me, to be quite honest with you. Make sure that you ask questions to the right people, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And that includes me, even though I say, okay, you guys could ask me questions in life and in business and anything else in between that. It's best to verify or at least validate which level of outcomes and results does this individual have. For example, you wouldn't ask, medical advice to a plumber. That's the most popular example that I can think about. You wouldn't ask, a medical advice from a plumber, and vice versa. You wouldn't ask plumbing advice from a medical professional. So you have to know who you are asking questions to based on the results that they have, whether that's a little or a lot, depending on what you need and want from that particular equation. So in order for your business idea to survive and go from idea to actual reality in your life, you're going to deal with a lot of naysayers. You're going to deal with a lot of haters, directly or indirectly. And you have to continuously push your idea, your business, your brand, more importantly, and most importantly, your deen, to the next level in the different areas of your life and business and whatever you have going on. But particularly as of right now, we're talking about business. So your business idea has to survive your thoughts and feelings so it could be backed by action. And eventually or hopefully or intentionally become an actual idea bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's in essence a lot of the things that I wanted to kind of mention about business ideas, and maybe I could share with you guys a little bit about where I'm at with my business ideas and how it generally impacts the different areas of my life for the most part. So for me, it's crazy, man. This online live platforms don't exactly let you know who's watching for some reason. Maybe okay. It's so inconsistent. I don't know why. It really bugs me. Like I want to be able to have the same do on a laptop as I do on my phone. And for some reason there's a big disconnect, or maybe like I said, it's the way that I'm looking at it. I can't see, like, okay, now I'm starting to slowly figure out, this is a little bit of my life and business journey that I'm sharing with you guys. As I'm figuring things out, you guys hopefully figure your own stuff out. But I can't see who's watching. Okay, now I could kind of see the YouTube channel, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. But viewing. But on the laptop on Facebook, for some reason I can't see who's watching. But when I look at my phone, it shows me who's watching by name for some reason, whether they comment or not. Poking a little bit fun at you guys. So now with your business ideas, I don't know. I could probably share with you guys what I'm particularly doing as of right now, and if you guys are interested enough, I can share with you guys some of the business ideas that I've kind of went through already, some of the validations that I've had. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Akhi Abdurrahim. Jazakallah khair for joining the live session. Where are you? Which city and state are you in? Just to give you a quick shout out, I'm trying to get a little bit of engagement, and I appreciate you showing me that engagement and that love and support. Really means a lot. It's better to connect and interact, and you know what I mean. And that way, we'll be able to continuously deliver more value to different people. Because one of the things I guess that reminded me of is, you know, we're all in a global community now, right? Anybody, anywhere, you could reach anybody, anywhere, at any time in this day and age, right? As crazy as that sounds. And I remember when I was in school, they were talking about globalization, and I took a course called International Business or something along those lines. I can't remember exactly. And they were talking about the different ways that people do business around the world. And that made me think, majority of the people do not have the same opportunity. So you're going to have to explore your local opportunities. Your ideas have to align with where you are, with what you have, and what you can, doing the best that you can. So whenever you're thinking about those ideas, that's something that you have to keep in mind, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So for me, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I hope that you guys could hear me. If there's any issues, technical issues or sound issues, just let me know, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Hopefully we can correct that. So a lot of people are asking a lot of different questions about which business to pursue. And for me personally, those are the exact same questions that I'm asking myself on a regular basis. and not just stopping at the questions, but I'm also executing while I'm trying to figure out the answers that I'm looking for, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So within that, the for me, I've explored through a lot of different business ideas, and I'm still continuously exploring. As of right now, obviously, online businesses is something that I'm slowly but surely getting into more and more. But within online business and even offline business, there's plenty of business ideas that you guys can get into. And inshallah, I'll share with you guys a couple of the businesses that I've already tried, and some of the ones that are still currently active for me. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Some of the ones that I still want to get into, and some of the challenges that I'm experiencing as of right now, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So for me, my first business was a candy business. Anybody here in Salt Lake City, Utah, generally speaking, knows about it for the most part. I started off with $0, using zero money. And Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, that's the first one that I actually executed on. And I had so much inspiration and motivation that I couldn't help but execute on it. And that business, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, I was able to make a couple of $100 to up to $1,000 or so from it, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And then from there, I had a couple of other ideas. And one of them was, I've always wanted to become like a motivational speaker and coach and things along those lines, even from the beginning. But always keeping that in the back of my mind, I started to get into flipping different products on the side. And this is something that some of my brothers and some of my close friends were actually doing as well. So I started to get into that a little bit. And then during that time, the next business that I got into was, I've always had ideas in the restaurant cafe industry. And one of them was there's this burkaka. Most people have no clue what that is. That my $220. So okay, I need to not get distracted. So I tried a couple of business ideas in the restaurant. So my mother makes this amazing thing called burkaka, which is a special type of fried bread that I don't know if majority of the Somalians know about, or maybe some of the Somalians know about, or just people from my region or whatnot. But I realized that actually, so when I was in school, this was one of the projects that my group chose. So I tried that out, and we validated that business concept, and it had about like a 90 or 95% approval rate. So that was like off the park, because one of the professors told me that most of the restaurants that have even 60% market approval rate go out to make it a success. Now yours is way higher, so that one was always in the back of my mind. So I didn't actually know how to make it, so I kind of put that on the shelf for a little bit. And then years later, I started Viazi Cafe, which was a Viazi business where you have 3 special sauces and drinks. And people from Kenya, Somalia, and generally East Africa know about what Viazis are. So when I started doing that business, it was a little bit success. I was making a couple of $100 on the side on the weekends. And what happened was, during that time, I saw one of my friends who had a cell phone business, and the cell phone business that he had, I was interested in it. I kept visiting him, asking for advice, and just kind of talking to him about it. And then I found out that he was actually selling it. And once he sold it, the person that he sold it to was someone that I knew as well. And then I wanted to actually purchase that business from that individual. And that made me think about all of the different ways. And it was very, it wasn't a, it was, it wasn't a lot, generally speaking. The business was in the low couple of thousands. And, um, and I was really, really interested in it. And I wanted to actually go and take the next step to actually having a particular location for my business instead of just, doing it out of my quote unquote trunk. And I wanted to actually have a physical store. And after trying so hard to purchase, to buy that business, what happened was it actually didn't allow, for some reason, it didn't fall through. And that deal, I wasn't able to achieve that goal, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, and for a good reason. And that made me, when I thought about it, I'm like, if somebody could go from beginning and start their business all the way to actually get it to where it was, and they were having some reasonable level of foot traffic and business come in, if they can build something from scratch, I had the idea that I could do the same thing as well. So what happened was, I think it was like around 2015, I decided to start my own cell phone business. And if you guys know where Dahabshil is, that's where I was doing my business in. And I think I did that for a couple of years. But in the back of my mind, the business idea that always stuck with me, that I've always dreamed about, and I always wanted to have, was an Islamic personal professional development company. And that's the one that I've actually been building all along. And alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, throughout that journey, I actually, in the same month, the craziest thing happened was I got my first life coaching client. A couple of days later, maybe within the same week or the following week, I got a business coaching client that I was doing a couple of work for. And I think in that time, I was actually like, I was willing to do whatever you guys wanted me to do. So for one person, I was doing one thing for them, coaching them on one thing. The other person, I was helping them build a website and just kind of do their business branding and things like that, to whatever small capacity that I was able to. And I started to make money off of doing what I loved. And that's the first time when I actually got a taste of the potential that doing what you love really, really had. And that, honestly, I was almost losing it, because at that time, that was back in like 2014 or 15, and it's been maybe like a year into finding out about, online business and that whole idea of how amazing it is to do what you love and get paid for it. And when I was able to start doing that, what actually happened was, at that particular time, when I started landing my first couple of clients and, a couple of things, what happened. So this is what I'm trying to help you understand is I've been through so many different business ideas, and there's a particular business idea that I'm focused on right now, but I'm trying to shift my focus on exactly how I'm doing it, or which part of the business that I'm focused on. But in terms of the business that I love, so you could actually focus on ideas that you hate, or you could choose to focus on ideas that you love. And for the longest time, I've always believed that you have to focus on the ideas that you love, and you have to. And I still believe that. But within the same token, what actually has to happen is you have to focus on the business idea that works, right? Or job, or whatever is a part of your equation, right? You have to focus on what makes you money, and then slowly but surely continuously build on what you love, and eventually figure out how to transition on just generally what makes you money into something that actually that you love and makes you money, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I hope that makes sense. So I started to think about, the business that I loved and the industry that I loved. And for me was the Islamic personal professional development industry. From early on, I started to get into personal development, business development. And I started to just learn, just like I do right now. I continuously learn every single day, every single moment that I get, from others, teaching others, coaching others, and so many things that I do right now. So it got to a point where when I was doing I was working full time, and I still am, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. And I had the gadget zone is what it was called, my cell phone shop that I had in the Habshil. So that business was, there's a lot of stories in between that. So I'm trying to just cut to the chase, because I was miserably failing in that business, like unbelievably, and at the same time succeeding to whatever micro that I've had. And within that same token, I was still building my Islamic personal professional development business. And I was still trying to explore what that business looked like. And I'm still exploring right now. But those were a couple of the key things that happened for me in my business early on. And a couple of years back, I can't remember exactly how many years, it hasn't been too many years out. I've always dreamed about becoming like a paid speaker. And alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, a couple of years ago, I started to get some paid speaking engagements and some gigs. And I didn't even think that was a possibility for me. So I started to monetize my speaking engagements, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. And to whatever degree and capacity, that was going reasonably well. But in the back of my mind, I was not satisfied with an online business that I had to do majority of the work on. I wanted to get a little bit more leveraged or a little bit more automated online business. So I started to think about all of the different business ideas, and the one that I started to do even more was the online monthly membership programs. Because I wanted something that was a little bit more consistent in terms of revenue. And I started this program called Ridwanullah University's Life Maximization Program. And I did that for about 3 months. In the past 3 months, we've been off, and I'm trying to get back on it. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. And that was a part of one of the most amazing things that happened to my business career, because that was the first thing that gave me like really, really good idea of what an online business really is, or what an online business really entails. And all this time I've just been creating content, and trying to figure out my branding, trying to figure out my business, trying to figure out my offer, and so many things that I'm still trying to figure out right now. And and that's the journey that I'm on right now, and it's a never-ending journey. And you go through a phase where you have so many different ideas, and you have to execute on all of them. And I tell you all of this, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of details that I'm forgetting in the specific order, and that's okay. I'm trying to share as much value as I possibly can, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, with you guys. But it got to a point right now where I wanted to help individuals, maximize their lives, right? And that's a little bit easier. That's a little bit easier than helping individuals maximize their businesses, right? Because there's a dilemma in that. I actually have to have a business that I'm building up to at least sufficient level of profit in order for me to continuously build that program that I wanted to build, which is going to be Ridwanullah University's business maximization program. So you're going to deal with a lot of inner conflicts. You're going to deal with a lot of imposter syndrome. That's basically when you don't think you're qualified enough, or you think you're not good enough, or people are going to find out that you're just been a fraud, or whatever that you want to call it. You could research that. I'm not doing it justice right now, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what that word means. So I felt like an imposter, because yeah, to a certain degree, I'm working extremely hard on maximizing my life and my business, and I'm trying to develop these different courses and programs, um, and help other people. But I found out that I actually have to help myself first. And that gives me the validity and the power and the consistency and the knowledge and the experience to be able to help other people do the same. So that after all these years of trial and error in terms of doing business in all of these different spectrums, and I still have 101 more ideas. One of the ones that I'm still working on right now is writing a book, because in the industry that I'm in, let's just say personal professional development, but in this Islamic niche, or generally, whenever you're in that niche, you actually have to create content. You actually have to potentially write a book. That's another income stream concept validation that you have to do. You actually have to do some speaking engagements. You actually have to do some courses and programs, and so many other things like coaching. And for me, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I haven't validated the book concept, but I did validate the speaking engagements. I did validate the courses and programs. I did validate the coaching, and so many other things within this industry. And I was almost losing my train of thought here, but you have to validate these different concepts, and there's no right or wrong way of doing it as long as you're doing it. But at the end of the day, you have to stay focused and locked in on your core or keystone business vertical. And that's what I'm actually trying to get to here in terms of the business ideas that you guys have. So in the beginning, yes, explore. In the beginning, I would actually advise you not to focus. That's counterintuitive in terms of what other people tell you. Do not focus in the beginning of your business journey. I know that sounds crazy, but let me explain. Now, if you're in a situation where you want to focus, if you're in a situation where you have to focus, then by all means, go ahead and do that. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. But if you don't know what to focus on, do not focus. It sounds even crazy for me to say it right now. Do not focus. What I mean by that is, business is like a buffet, right? Let's use that analogy as an example. I can't tell you when we go to a buffet, focus on that particular dish, right? And eat that dish and finish it before you go on to the other one. For me, I would say taste all the ones that you're interested in, right? And eventually you're going to find out, okay, I don't like this, I love this, and these are the things that are in between. So you really, really have to I'm getting a little bit distracted here with the pop-ups, my bad. And I'm telling you not to focus, so it goes well with that. So you have to explore and taste all of these different business ideas, and that's actually what I'm doing right now personally. And after exploring all of these different business ideas, and sometimes you're drowning in your business ideas, you really, really have to, inshallah, start focusing on your vertical, your core and keystone vertical. That just means a particular business that you're going to be engaged in that will be your core and keystone business. And then you focus on the last core and keystone business. And I know this sounds crazy to some of you guys, and this is some new idea, and it's okay. It's okay. At the very least, now you have a little bit of ideas that are planted in your mind about the general ideas of business ideas. And I'm repeating ideas because that's what it's really about. So in essence, let's say majority of the time, entrepreneurs start off by having a particular job, right? And what happens is That is your main income and work that you're engaged in. So what you have to do is, in the beginning, you explore all of your business ideas. You test it out, you taste it out, depending on whatever you have in your arsenal, or whatever you have in your capacity. So, but eventually, and that's where I'm at right now, eventually you have to find a particular business that you're going to be focused on as your core and keystone business. In other words, your main business. And you're going to go all in and all out on that particular business to replace your main income and work, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, or at the moment to supplement that income and work. And then you have an idea that is like the last thing that you're going to test out and continuously work on. And then in between that, you're going to explore all of the different business ideas, all of the different marketing channels, all of the different distribution channels, and so many other things that you can do in business, and you build on from there. And if you have a business mind, that will make some sense to you. If you're just barely getting into business, it makes no sense to you. So I'll try to explain in relation to where I'm at right now, with all of the things that I've spoken about, all of the business ideas that I've been through, what I'm really, really focused on right now. As of right now, I'm really, really focused on delivering as much value as I can through the content that I'm making right now. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. That is not my core and keystone business. That is one of the in-between layers, right? And hopefully I could start making some advertising and sponsorships and affiliate revenue through producing these content. So you guys will be able to see some level of advertisements, some level of sponsorships and affiliates through this channel. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So always keep an eye out for that and show your love and support for whatever you can within that. But after all these years, my main business model is going to be physical products. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I've been thinking about physical products. I've been developing physical products for a very long time. But I haven't, aside from the physical products that I've already been selling, I haven't really created my own physical products or even white labeled my own physical products. So that's the field that I'm getting into right now in terms of my business, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, the Ridwanullah organization. Through my personal brand, which is a whole different topic. Branding is very, very important on your business journey. And we'll talk about that on a different level if you guys have any particular questions about that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to be releasing 5 different physical product lines. I'm not going to tell you where it is right now. If you guys want to know which ones they are and you guys would love to support and purchase that, let me know. I'll be able to provide a little bit more details on that, or at least put you on the waiting list to be first informed once it comes out. So I'm gonna, in the next couple of months to a couple of years, or however long it takes, I'm gonna focus on launching my 5 core physical products, and that's going to be my main business, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I'm going to still dabble and explore and try to validate a lot of the different ideas that are within that. My last layer, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, I'm going to do is focus on an annual conference that happens once a year. I'm not sure if we're going to be launching it in 2020, maybe 2021, maybe 2022. But one of these years, inshallah, that annual conference will be launched, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So that is the portfolio of my finances and work, generally speaking. And that could potentially impact the different areas of my life as well, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, as they already are. So that's where I'm at right now. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. This is the first time that I'm actually sharing with you guys with where I'm at with my business and everything else that I'm doing right now. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, Rune. Really appreciate your love and support on that. Sister Anissa saying, have you been on Snappy? They might give you inspiration. Yes, I'm actually connected to Snappy. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. I actually went to the conference in Minnesota, the last one, but for some reason I wasn't able to. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Yeah, so I'm actually I try to connect with the founders of Snappy. Really, really amazing and inspirational individuals, mashallah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant them even more success. I know Mukhtar is also doing the nomadic hustle. Shout out, big shout out. Support his work. He's doing amazing, mashallah. So I'll be able to probably join. Okay, so maybe that's actually one that I could see if I can make, inshallah, during the annual conference during the summer. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Jazakallahu khair, Anissa, for all that information. I'm gonna try to do the best that I can. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. To do you know, did they make any official announcements, or is it just general announcement on that they're gonna do it in the summer of 2020? But subhanallah, with the coronavirus pandemic, nothing is for certain as of right now. Everything is like on a general idea. So yeah, I'm gonna try to continue while you guys are typing that up, inshallah. So I can't even remember where I left off, but yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with the spectrum of the different business ideas that I'm doing right now. And one of the things that I've realized is that you have to continuously deliver immense value, and you have to choose. Which business ideas that you're going to focus on. It's very, very important, very, very crucial to your business success and overall life. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So that's generally where I'm at with it. I'm still developing online courses, and I still have an online program, and I'm trying to make 2 programs as I'm going along, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So you guys will be able to, inshallah, hopefully in the near future, see a lot of these different business ideas that I have come into fruition. One of the other things that I will tell you is there's in front of the scenes business and also behind the scenes business. In front of the scenes business are basically the public figures type of business, whether you're doing speaking, training, coaching, all of these different elements that are in front of the scenes. Now, you could have behind the scenes business where you don't have to be on camera. You don't have to be the face of your business or whatever that may entail for whatever business that you have. And you could be completely behind the scenes. And I have a couple of friends and clients and all of these different elements that I regularly work with that are completely behind the scenes. They have really, really reasonably successful businesses without having to create any content. But by creating content, you put yourself in a more leveraged position. Now, if you're doing like a contracting business, it's a lot more easier because you don't have to do a lot of the marketing and sales because that's already taken care of for you. And all you have to do is relationship management, which is very, very legit business model that you could do. Within that same token, you have to figure out what you want to do. You have to figure out which business that you want to do. For me personally, I've had some behind the scene businesses that I've started off with, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. But slowly and surely, I've always had dreams about in front of the scenes business. And for me, I'm not an in front of the scenes type of guy, to be quite honest with you. I don't like, this sounds very counterintuitive, whether you believe me or not, it's really up to you. I know what I believe in. But I don't I really, 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 really do not like being in front of the scenes, or a public figure, or someone that people recognize, or somebody that has whatever level of fame that they have, or someone that's recognized. I really, 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 really do not like that for some reason. But I do like impacting people's lives. I do like impacting people's businesses. I do like inspiring and motivating people to improve their success and happiness, improve their lives and businesses, and so many other things that I'm passionate about. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, I have to do this, right? I have to, and I enjoy it, but I don't enjoy the notoriety. And I'm still trying to figure out where I was trying to go with this. What I was trying to do is let you know that you have to follow where your heart is leading you in terms of your life and business, as long as it's within the boundaries, rules and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If your heart is leading you to fahisha and munkar, all of these evil deeds and everything else, stay away from it. But if it's leading you within the boundaries, rules, and regulations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you go after it to whatever capacity that you have, up to full force, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And there's going to be time and years that you're going to have to build up to that level, but you will be able to produce those outcomes and results, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So the point that I was trying to make in that is, my heart led me to Islamic personal professional development, and that's where I'm pulling. That's where I'm building a lot of my business in. A lot of the business ideas that I have, specifically the physical product businesses that I'm developing right now, is in that Islamic personal professional development niche, or space, or industry. And that's so the overall part is a in front of the scenes business. And while I'm developing this in front of the scenes business, I'm also developing a couple of behind the scenes businesses, right? Where I'm still working on the physical products is actually a behind the scenes business, where I don't have to be present or showing myself, or teaching and training, which is more of a service based business than a product based business. But I'm still working on developing my product-based business to whatever capacity that I have, and I still have a lot of fear and a lot of uncertainty about that business and whether it'll work or not. It's all up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But I will do the best that I can. I will try the hardest. I will start where I'm at. I will, inshallah, use what I have, and I will do the best that I can. And I hope that you do the same thing as well for your business, and continuously build it to the best of your ability, so you can make that your full-time income and work. And you can continuously work towards inspiring and motivating our ummah and world, yourself, your loved ones, and everybody in between that, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I know there's a lot of other questions that we can get into, but let me just go through some of the questions that came my way. Hopefully, this whole the Ridwanullah TV show has helped you in that department, in that area, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala, and all of these different business ideas that you're going to go through. It's not easy. There's no shortcut. Don't look for shortcuts when it comes to your life and business. Obviously, if you have a shortcut that is legal, not only legal in the mankind sense, but legal in the deen sense, most importantly, then you take those shortcuts, right? But, and I don't even like the word shortcut, to be honest with you, because I've been looking for shortcuts for so long, an easier way. There is no easier way. I have to put money up. I have to put time up. I have to find the teamwork. I have to put in the energy and the effort and whatever else it takes to achieve success, to achieve happiness in my life, in my business, in all areas in this dunya and in the akhirah, for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I hope that you stop drowning in your business ideas, because I've been drowning in business ideas for a very, 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 very long time. And I'm slowly, surely starting to figure it out. It's not an easy thing, but you have to continuously build on that. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Um, um, but that I feel like I still have a lot of things to go through. But let me actually write a list of the questions that I get here. I don't know if this is gonna be worth making a list of the questions that I normally get asked, but I guess I'll just leave it here. Life and business Q&A. So these are questions that have been asked by individuals. As of right now, I won't mention their names, but in the future, just know, fair warning, that if you ask me a question, that gives me permission to put your first and last name out there, not in a negative way, but just say, okay, so and so asked me this, and this is my answer to your question, type of thing. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I hope that you guys keep that in mind. And obviously, when you guys ask in the live feed, I'll be able to just let you guys know what that is. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. So I'll wrap it up here by answering a couple of questions, however long it takes before Dhuhr. Well, way before Dhuhr, inshallah. And then we'll call it a day. I'm actually going on my first quarter Ridwanullah retreat next week. So I was trying to get my quick hit of social media by sharing as much value as I can. I know a couple of people reached out to me saying they benefited from the live shows that I was doing, along with the content that I already produced that's pre-recorded. A lot of the people wanted to see some live interaction, and I think that's just really good for your brand and your business and everything else you're marketing. So I'm trying to see if I could probably do it at least once a week. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be extremely busy. There's a lot of room for improvement in my life, as well as business, in the work that I do and everything else in between that. So I'll try to do the best that I can. I'm trying to find my content creation flow. I'm going to try to do some 1-minute motivational videos on a regular, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. I'm trying to see if I can make it daily, but if I can't, then I'll do that. I'll still release the Ridwanullah TV shows once or twice a week at least, inshallah, so you guys could continuously benefit from that. And if you guys want to take it to the next level, you guys could, keep an eye out for the courses and programs that I'm planning on building, some of the products that I have coming up, and all of these different elements of business that I'm continuously working on and working through. A lot of half-baked or quarterly baked business projects and life projects that I'm working on right now. But inshallah, everything will come into full fruition. And inshallah, all of these different business ideas, life ideas that you have, will come to fruition. One of the most satisfying things that I've ever experienced in my life and business is having something come to life that the beginning was just an idea. And that's actually one of my highs in life, is turning ideas into realities, honestly. Building something from scratch completely, whether that's my personal brand business or business branded businesses, or all of these different elements, whether that's, so many different things, the coaching business, the speaking business, all of these different things that I've been struggling and striving through. It's an amazing feeling. Wallahi, amazing feeling. Man, wallahi, I'm feeling flooded with gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for all of the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me with. I honestly cannot put it into words, but I do know that I'm very, very thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, even though I still have a lot of work to do in my deen. Um, but you know, one of the most amazing insights that I've gained in my life and business so far, that would be a great opportunity for me to share with you right now, since I got plunged into gratitude right now. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Is I've realized we all have these goals and we all have these achievements and we all have these gifts, right? And one of the things that I've realized is what we have already been given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is way more than what we could ever achieve or what we've already achieved. And to give you a couple of examples is your eyesight. To give you a couple of examples is your limbs. And if you're missing some of these parts, and I know a lot of people are missing some of the, not a lot, but a few people are missing some of these parts. Some of them are my friends. And that puts everything in perspective, to be quite honest with you, because if you truly internalize that whatever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gifted you with is greater, it's not even comparable, it's not even 1%. Whatever you could achieve and whatever you've already achieved is not, it doesn't even accumulate to 1% of what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has already given you. So if you can find gratitude in that, you're already a winner. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, if you are grateful, I will give you more, that's what it means. Not lip service, but gratitude. Bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And I know I'm starting to sound like Gary V, but that's the truth in our deen, right? I'm not going to hit you with one of those you'll live to 100, because our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said you will live between, his ummah will live between 60 to 70. So we're going to average it out to say 65. So you figure out how much life you have left or how much life you've already lived, and make the best out of every opportunity that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, and continuously move forward in that capacity, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. But yeah, I feel amazing, alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, to be able to share a lot of these different values with you guys, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be more. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Hussein Mohamud, as well as, obviously, we're friends here on Facebook if you're already on there, and vice versa. And I have these different social media platforms that you guys could link and connect with me. I get a lot of, I hate to say this, but I get a lot of different messages. So if I haven't responded to you, I apologize. If I did respond to you, I hope that the connection was good, and we'll be able to just build on from there. There's a lot of different thoughts and ideas that I have in my head, but I think I've shared sufficiently with you guys so far. So just to answer some of the questions that have already come my way about life and business, and if you guys have any right now while you're watching on the live show about your life and business or about my life and business, feel free to ask those questions, and I'll do the best that I can to answer those questions. Someone who was building a daycare business asked me, is it necessary for them to register a business name for their daycare business? And it depends, right? So if you're just starting off, a lot of the people that have daycare businesses just start off with their names, or you could do a DBA, which is a doing business as, at least here in Utah. I don't know what they call it with wherever you're at. So you could register your business and do it as DBA. So whichever one you would like, whatever you would like your business to be known for, that's what you do. If it's going to be just your name, you don't have to register a business name. But if it is a business name, then you have to register a DBA, at least here in Salt Lake City, Utah. And you guys can choose whichever route. I believe the individual eventually decided just to use their name just to begin with, because there's a little bit more less hassle to do your business like that. So that's my answer to that question. I hope that suffices that. The other question was, do I have to have an tax ID number for a new business? Somebody who's in the limousine and taxi and limousine industry asked me that question, and the answer is yes. If you're building a completely separate business that has separate registration and everything, and you are going to potentially have employees, or maybe, I don't know if you, I know there are certain situations where if you're not going to have employees, that's not really required as long as you file your taxes personally. But if you're going to pay employees, then it is essential for you to have that tax ID number. I don't know if it's called an ITIN. I can't remember what that ID number. You guys can check it out online. The other question, so that's that suffices as well. The other business question that I was asked is, what was it? The coronavirus basically decimated my current business idea, or the business idea that I was working on. What other business ideas can I focus on right now? And my answer to that, honestly, is focus on what you love, but don't forget to make money regardless of whether you love it or not, because you need some money to live off of. And you need to have a little bit of savings to be able to build your businesses and investments and everything else that you could imagine, and get better at your craft and your job or wherever that may be. But continuously work on developing what you love. For me, I found out that what I love is Islamic personal professional development and anything and everything around that. So that's what I'm building my business on, and that's what I've been building my business on for the past couple of years. I've had a lot of failed attempts. I've had micro success and everything else in between. So you just have to explore and test out a lot of different ideas. Don't be afraid to act, is what I will tell you, because a lot of us get stuck in, the analysis paralysis, like me, every single day. So I'm trying to defeat analysis paralysis and take action, make decisions and take action. That's how you normally would defeat that if you had that question. But focus on what you love. No, actually, focus on making money. I'll tell you that. A lot of people tell you otherwise, but focus on making money. And then on the side, focus on what you love and try to figure out how to transition into making money from what you love, is what I would tell anybody who has those types of questions. Yikes, man. There's so many questions that come my way. The one that's kind of lingering in my head that I'm debating whether I should answer that question is, man, how can I improve my marriage? Let's just say that. A lot of people, they don't directly ask me this question, but it's more of an indirect question, because there's a lot of pain related to spouses and things like that. So alhamdulillah rabbil alameen, I'm a married man with kids. So I have a little bit of an idea of what that is. I've been married for about 7-8 years now, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. So what I will say is, it's a daily struggle. Marriage is like anything else. You have to work at it. You have to set goals. You have to continuously improve yourself before you try to improve your spouse. By improving yourself, but hopefully your spouse will be improving. And if they are not, work towards helping them improve to the best of your abilities, is what I would say. There's a lot of deeply rooted marital problems that a lot of people have. Just do the best that you can with what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed you with, and always make dua. That's the secret weapon of the believers, is always make dua. Always to improve your salah. This is hands down. I said salah. I was supposed to say marriage and then tell you salah, but I gave you the answer already. So let me just explain that a little bit. The number one key to your marital success is your salah. Hands down, no questions asked, salah. Because number one, if someone's connection with their creator is good, then the connection with the creation has to be. But when someone's connection with their creator is not good, the connection with the creation cannot be. So That's one of the things that I've learned from the local scholars that I normally connect with and learn from, is they generally and specifically and primarily focused on the salah of the individual. The more problems you have with your salah, the more problems you have with your marriage. Again, the more problems you have with your salah, the more problems you have with your marriage. The more problems you have with your salah, the more problems you have with your marriage. Keep that in mind, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. If anybody else has any particular questions for me, I'll be checking out for about a week at least. And I'll be seeing you with more content and value after the week of my first quarter Ridwanullah retreat, where I try to mastermind within the retreat as well. So obviously my travels and everything will be limited during the quarterly retreat, but I'll do the best that I can as usual. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased with you guys. I genuinely appreciate sharing value with you guys. One of the, I guess, another thing that I can share with you guys real quick is one of the most important things that I've learned about life and business is focus on adding as much value and use to people's lives and businesses as possible without any expectation of a return, generally speaking. But within the same token, after that, figure out how you can get paid to do exactly that in a direct way or in an indirect way, or not at all. I've been reminded of that by a lot of people in my life, primarily my wife, alhamdulillah rabbil alameen. And I think it's very, very, very important to focus on adding value. And that's what this whole live show is really, really, in essence, really about. Because I remember when I was primarily focused on making money, and I'm not saying that you shouldn't be focused on making money, or being focused on making money is wrong. It's absolutely not. It's right. But what's more important than making money is adding value and use to people in their lives and businesses, in this dunya and in the akhirah, for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So as you're continuously working on how to make money from whatever it is that you're going to do, but try to give as much value up front as you can. Obviously, if you're in the physical product business, it doesn't mean that you make all the products and give it away for free. Maybe it could mean that the first couple you give it out for free to those who order, and then after that you start doing half, and then work your way up to full price. Whatever it is, figure out how to give free value to people, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. And I think that's a great life and business advice for me personally, and I hope that that is for you as well. Obviously, I know people who are in the Umrah and Hajj business. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to start giving away thousands of dollars for free, but maybe means out of 10 clients that you have, you bless one person, that's struggling to pay it off, or struggling to have it all, or you give them a discount, whatever that means for you. Figure it out what that means. And that gives me a great idea that maybe the first couple of physical products that I'm going to be developing through my business, I might give it out for free. I might give it out half off or full price. Allahu A'lam, we'll figure it out. We'll try to see what works, what doesn't, and explore throughout all of that. If you are not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. If you're not linked up with me on my Facebook, please do so. And if you are not on the mailing list, please send an email to ridwanullahorganization@gmail.com, and I'll put you on the email list. I try to do additional value through there, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. I remember the khutbah wisdoms are primarily through there. You guys will be able to get a lot of valuable information and probably early notifications and discounts through the mailing list. So don't forget to sign up for my mailing list, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khair. If you guys don't have any other questions, I will leave it at that. Let me see what other comments we have here. Okay, they have annual conference. True. Yeah, it's a really great. Snappy is a really great networking platform, mashallah. Some great leaders are really behind that, mashallah. There's a new one this summer, 2020. Nothing official yet for the Snappy conference. I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it, but I definitely will try to do the best that I can to make it to the annual conference while I'm building my own annual conference, inshallah. Okay. Okay. I think there's no other questions right now, so I will check out here with a few closing remarks. If you guys have any particular questions for me about life or business or about the particular topic, please let me know. I think that's pretty much it, inshallah. Jazakumullahu khair for joining us on this live Ridwanullah TV show with me, your host, Hussein Mohamud. It's a pleasure and a privilege to serve you guys. That's what I've been dreaming about for a very, very long time. And it's good to kind of be out there in the game and giving whatever value that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me with. So that's all I'm going to say. If you're drowning in your business ideas, test them out. Test them out, see which one works, which one doesn't, which one sticks, which one doesn't, and continuously execute on them. And just, if you're in the online business space and marketing, create content as much as you can, as best as you can, and just give as much value as you possibly can by the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That'll help you build your brand. That'll help you build your business, and also the different areas of your life. You'll start to find out what you like, what you don't like. And you're going to go through a lot of failure. You're going to go through some success and hopefully a lot of success in the years to come. But in any case, you can't give up. You have to continuously go forward and test out your life ideas, your business ideas, and improve to the best of your abilities. Take rest, relax, rejuvenate. And keep going for everything that you have in your life that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed you with, and continuously work in that way, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. Jazakumullahu khair. Really appreciate your love and support. If you haven't liked this video already, even if you're catching it the last minute, go back and watch it again. Press the like button. Really appreciate your love and support. Subscribe if you're on the YouTube channel or wherever else you can subscribe. And leave your comments below. I would love to see what you think. What are your business ideas? What are the struggles what struggles are you going through in your business ideas, or maybe just life in general? If you know somebody that's drowning in their business ideas or different ideas in their lives, share this video with them. It'll definitely help them, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, as well as help us. And we can all share in the khair, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala. And that's all I got for you guys today. Jazakumullahu khair, Ridwanullah family, for tuning in to a new episode of the Ridwanullah TV show live with your host, Life and Business Maximizer, Hussein Mohamud. Checking out by saying, never ever give up on completely maximizing your life and business in this dunya and in the akhirah for the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.